Hi guys, just doing a review for Stranger Things Season 4, Part 1. What an amazing first half. I have to say, after watching it, I'd probably say it's better than Season 3. Yeah, I have to say it because I am someone who cares about story, and when it comes to the story, it's definitely better than Season 3. I have to say it. Yeah. They basically just used like a Nightmare on Elm Street to tell like a really good story while it's still being in like the Stranger Things universe and kind of revealing a lot of information that kind of ties back to season one. Oh my god, it's just done so well. And of course, there'll be spoilers in this review, so yes, spoilers. So let's just start from the beginning, I guess. So basically, it kind of all starts with 11 in basically high school. She's kind of with Will because our characters are like separate doing different things. And we'll get to Hopper because, we know what's going on with him from what happened in season three. And then Joyce, I guess she kind of gets information from someone who is at the place where Hopper is, and she kind of decides to find where Hopper is with that guy who I always forget his name. You know, the guy with the glasses. I didn't really think much of his character in season three, but I guess he is useful. But yeah, we'll come back to that because it mainly just focuses on what's going on with 11 in high school and how she's getting bullied by these girls. Is it like Angela's the one who bullies her the most, and it gets to a point where 11 just has enough and just hits her in the face. But before then, like she gets to see Mike when he visits because they're doing their own thing, and Will kind of tries to keep things secret because 11 doesn't want Mike to know what's been going on with her and how she's been bullied. So when things go out of hand, man, and then she kind of becomes a bit distant from Mike, and then something happens where because basically the army are kind of after 11, but they want to find her because I guess they view her as dangerous when there's actually a way more dangerous threat that's building up. And the way how they reveal it at the end of the first half, oh my god, which I'll get to that. I can't to talk about that stuff because wow, which just ties back to season one so much. Yeah, but we'll get to that. So basically, after all that happens, someone kind of comes for 11, but someone who wants to help 11 unlock her powers again because she couldn't really use her powers because she was never going to use her powers and probably do some kind of carry thing where she just attacks her bullies with her powers. But luckily that didn't happen because things would probably be a lot worse. Because yeah, she got arrested, but man, things probably would have been worse than just getting arrested. Yeah, and when she's getting transferred, she's kind of rescued by these people who I thought were going to be the bad guys, but basically that scientist who 11 spayed in season 2, he's basically the one who's come to help her and then takes her to this base which seems like is someone that you can trust because he's just trying to help 11 to save her friends and this town who because this town's kind of become with this new threat where these kids start dying. Like Chrissy is one of them. I guess you'd say she's like the popular girl in school, and probably one of the unpopular people, Eddie, who was basically the Johnny Depp of the movie. Because in Nightmare on Elm Street, Johnny Depp was like the person who dies first and all that, and then like, well, no, it's more like Nancy's boyfriend. Sorry, yeah. So he's not really like the Johnny Depp of the the season. It's more like he's like the Nancy's boyfriend, but Nancy's not even with him, like the Nancy from Stranger Things, but you know what I mean. The one who gets framed for the murder, because basically he kind of gets on with Chrissy because they're kind of like, because Chrissy wants something to help her get rid of her nightmares that she starts having because yes, that's kind of tied to the story and the threat because this person kind of goes into people's dreams, then they start to hallucinate, and then they eventually kill them. And that's what happens when Chrissy and Eddie are kind of, talking with each other, and she just wants something to get these hallucinations out of her head. So she wants to have some kind of drug that will help with that. Before Eddie gets a chance to give her the drug, she just ends up, going up, and then her eyes are just rolled back and her limbs start breaking. That was so freaky seeing that for the first time and just Eddie's reaction. And then he basically gets framed for murder after that. Also, one of the characters who becomes like the new sheriff, you could say. Basically, the that black cop from who I know from Daredevil anyway. They actually have two people from Daredevil, which there's one in Russia who I recognize from like season one of Daredevil. You know, one of the Russian brothers. Yeah, it was kind of cool to see him. Yeah, that was cool. But yeah, I guess I could talk about Joyce and like I'll just call him the guy with the glasses because man, he's a goofy character, but he really was really useful in this first half of the final season. Yeah, definitely. He definitely brings a lot of skills to the table, especially when it comes to actually helping when they get to Russia, I guess. And they kind of have to tell the kids that they're just going on like a field trip. But when they come back with Hopper, I guess they'll be so happy. But by the time they come back, will that threat still be around or will it be all cleaned up? I just wonder how that's going to go. Are they actually going to come to help at the end or, with what's going on with Vecna, since that's the villain's name, and we kind of get revealed who he really is in the final moments of the first part, which, I'll get to. Yeah, I just wonder by the time Hopper gets back, he's going to be able to actually help with that, or is it already going to be over? Because I'm just not really sure about that. Yeah. Because basically, Joyce kind of make a deal with this guy who's like a guard in the prison to help him get Hopper out. Things kind of backfire because the pilot basically betrays them, and then they end up being prisoners. But then the guy with the glasses, like he knows kung fu, so he kind of fights back, and then the plane crashes, and then he uses the pilot who betrayed him as he basically takes like his identity and then is able to infiltrate the prison while making that pilot and Joyce like prisoners, since he can speak Russian, so he can like easily fool them, so he's able to get inside. But before then, I'm just gonna say what's been happening with Hopper. So yeah, for 2 years, Hopper's been stuck in this place. He's been getting tortured, just working him to the bone, and it gets to a point where he's ready to just give up at this point. But then he gets hope about from the guard that Joyce is gonna help him get out. So that kind of gives him some hope, and he kind of has to set up like an escape with the guard. That kind of backfires when the pilot messes up things. So then the guard gets imprisoned along with Hopper again, because there's a moment where he finally gets out and he's just so happy and he's actually getting to eat something nice because of what he's been eating. But then he ends up getting captured again, and then he has to fight like this ultimate demigod and what they teased in at the end of season 3. Like Jesus, that Finn is OP, like the strongest demigod we've ever seen. I mean, 11 could probably kill it easily, but man, that's definitely the strongest I've seen. Because it just massacres a lot of the prisoners. Luckily, Hopper has a plan because he's faced them before. But man, that's definitely the strongest. That wasn't easy to kill. I don't even think they kill it at the end anyway. They had to just escape, and then he reunites with Joyce, which is a nice scene. Just all the things that was going through his head before then, where he was just giving up when he got captured. Like he was just at that point giving up, and how he's just like cursed. Just the things he was saying, man. Talking about his daughter when he lost his daughter, and how he was given a second chance with Joyce, and then 11, and then how he's kind of ruined their lives by being in their lives, and how he's like a curse. But then, yeah, that was some deep stuff from Hopper, and shows why he's such a great character. And then by the time when Joyce reunites with him, it shows that he's not really cursed. He just has bad luck, but hopefully he can get a good ending, and he doesn't actually die, because that would just be some Glenn BS from The Walking Dead, where Glenn survived the impossible, but then he just dies anyway. Like I hated that. It took away the impact from his actual death, because I kind of mourned him in his fake death. But when it came to Hopper, I knew he wasn't dead anyway. So yeah. So basically, they're trying to escape, and that's how they end things with that part of the story. When it comes to the main part of the story, so basically, so yeah, Vecna is basically, should I say it now? I don't know. He's basically number one. So, because there's 11, and then there's like all the other ones who are experimented on, and number one's basically the first. So it kind of all goes back to what Robert Englund tells us when Nancy and Robin kind of team up and sneak into the place where the survivor of Vecna you know, he basically tells the story about, how this all started and how he's the only survivor. But man, is he really a survivor? Because he got imprisoned, he got framed for the murders of his family, and then his eyes, he's just, yeah, so messed up, man. So that's probably worse than just being in prison, like just all that happened to him. Losing his family and his eyes, just, man, crazy. But yeah, it's played by Robert England, which was cool. So it kind of makes it even more like Nightmare on Elm Street with how he tells the tale about what happened to him. And we basically find out from when Vecna actually reveals stuff that he's actually number one. So the one who actually basically started all this. So basically, he was actually the son, which we thought the son died, I guess. So I don't think he knew what happened to his son, so he just probably thought he died. I don't know. And the son basically got captured because basically he killed his whole family because he just felt like his family were evil. I don't know if they had a baby and one of the family members killed the baby, like pull it in the fire or something. Yeah, and basically that just made the son twisted and just got evil, and he started to have these powers, so he just killed his entire family. Well, the dad, he survived, but he got imprisoned. As for him, he just blacked out, and then he got captured by Papa, which Papa is actually alive, and is actually the one who's with the scientists when Eleven goes. Like she just wants to run away at that point because seeing Papa again after everything Papa did to Eleven, like she doesn't want to stay. So, but then she realizes that Papa's probably the only person who can actually help her get her powers back. So she decides to stay because her friends are in danger. Yeah. But yeah, back to the past storyline. What we get revealed with number one. So yeah, just finding out that the villain of season 4 is basically number one. What a twist, man! Probably is also the best villain of this show to me. Of how they've done it, like it's been so good. Yeah, because basically when he gets captured, he gets something that controls him. So even if he tried to fight back or escape, yeah, it wouldn't really work out for him. And he has to help all these other kids who their power has been passed down to them. Like his power has been put on them. Like all these kidnapped kids we know that 11 was one of the kidnapped kids, Jane, because she was taken away from her mother and then brought to this place, and then like probably number one's DNA was put into 11's, which gave her the power, and all the other kids. It seems like 11 is starting to become like the most powerful, and I kind of like how they use CGI to show the old 11 from season 1 while also using the season 4 11 who's a lot older, just mirroring it so it kind of fits well. Yeah, because they couldn't really use CGI for for the whole time, so they had to mirror how it was. Yeah, with shaving 11's hair, so she looks like her season 1 self, but older. But then they just used like the mirror to show that she's basically her season 1 self, especially when you use like the CGI for that. Because they probably got like a kid and then just put like 11 season 1 face on that kid. Yeah. Which kind of shows how good effects are these days. Yeah. And how we just see 11 getting, bullied, like pushed to her limits. And how number one just basically tricks her because I wasn't sure up until the last minute where wait, is this guy who's helping 11 gonna betray her? And he ends up actually betraying her because he just wanted to kill everyone because he just became a monster from when he was a kid to then being imprisoned to this place, and Papa just made him even worse, and that's probably why he kills all the kids, even the ones that were bullying 11. But I don't think she wanted them dead. So yeah, and she just views number one as a monster when she finds out who he really is. And I guess number one wants 11 to join him, but she doesn't really want to because she just views him as like a monster. So then they kind of have a fight with each other. It seems like number one's going to win because it seems like he's the most powerful, but 11 basically defeats him and then traps him in the upside down world. So basically 11's kind of the one who starts this whole situation to begin with. Even though it all truly did start from number one, because he's the one who actually kills everyone, and just everything that happened to him when he was a kid. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that reveal was so well done. Definitely did it really well. I mean, they easily could have messed that up, but it was done so well. Yeah. It's like when I was trying to explain things at the end of Lost with those past characters, it wasn't really done that well. Where here it was done so well. Yeah. Because how can you make a storyline like that in Lost feel like filler, but then this is like a huge explanation to the whole series? Yeah. Because that's what Lost was trying to do, but they failed, where Stranger Things didn't fail. And this is probably going to be like the best final season since Breaking Bad, which, if it is, when I've watched part two, I'll probably make a video on that and how it just, ends the show so well, because I've got more hype for this than the final season of, well, the final episodes of The Walking Dead and whatever else is ending. Yeah. Well, Better Call Saul, that could still have a great ending, but a perfect ending? I'm not sure. We'll have to see with that, but Stranger Things right now is probably the one where it's going to have like a perfect ending. But, we'll see when it comes out on July 1st. Yeah. Just, yeah, when it comes to like the kids, they kind of team up to, find a way to stop Vecna, because Max kind of starts to have, the similar symptoms that all these other kids have when people start dying. There's also this character Jason who, because basically, there's just so many things going on. But yeah, Lucas is kind of with these kids, like the cool kids. Basically, he's not really with the old gang through a few episodes until where things start to get really bad and people start to go after Eddie because they blame Eddie for Chrissy's death, basically, when we know what actually happened. Yeah. And then when Jason sees one of his friends get killed when they're after Eddie, that just makes things even worse. But I guess the town is kind of all after Eddie at that point. But the kids are trying to help him. I like how basically Erica is basically a nerd at this point, and basically has fully joined the gang. We don't really get as much with her character as we did in season three, which is why season three was so fun. Like, her character was just so awesome. She was my favorite character in season three. In season four, I probably would say it's between Max and Eddie, who's my favorite character because of what they do with Max in this season, with her trauma with her brother's death, and then basically Vecna, the main villain, trying to kill her, basically, where she has those bad dreams and then those hallucinations. But luckily, this music that she listens to is the thing that actually saves her and gives her like a fighting chance. Because man, that was like probably the most tense I've been since The Walking Dead season 7 episode 1, where all the characters' lives were in danger from Negan. Yeah, that lineup scene. And then just seeing that part where Max is trying to escape, like I was making, and then they're showing flashbacks to like from when she came into the show to the current time, like her relationship with Lucas, just all those things, man. Because she was kind of distance from everyone, even Lucas. I mean, with how he was hanging with the cool kids, I don't really blame her with that. She just felt like, man, there's no chance I'm gonna survive. She even writes letters and all that for her loved ones, because yeah. But luckily she actually survives, and they're there to help her as well. And it's good that she survives, but man, that was so intense when she was actually in that place. My God. I was like, damn, is Max gonna die? But luckily she doesn't. And then when it comes to helping Eddie, when they're looking for him, Nancy, Robin, there's also like this new character who is it Jonathan? Yeah, like this pizza delivery guy. Like, he's some hippie guy. Like, he's a fun character. He's kind of the one who helps the kids escape when the ones who are trying to capture the kids, attack them. Like, they attack their house, and these guards end up getting killed who are protecting the kids. Like, that scene was just like basically season three with that action. And them just trying to find Eddie, and then they basically end up in the upside down world when one of the characters gets dragged in. So then they have to go help him. Then they have to find a way out, which that's when Dustin comes in and helps them. Yeah. I didn't even really say much about Susie because she kind of helps a bit as well when it comes to finding the house of basically Vecna, because that's how they basically get to that point, to find a way how to stop Vecna. And then after that, that's when they find Eddie, and then they get, well, one of them gets dragged down to the upside down world, and then that's when they go and save them. Most of them get out, but Nancy kind of gets taken by Vecna, and just that whole scene with Nancy and Vecna was just like Nancy and Freddy Krueger, man, in the original movie of Nightmare on Elm Street, man. I just got 100% Nightmare on Elm Street vibes from that scene, yeah. And I guess she's kind of stuck there, but there's one of them who can still help her, like her boyfriend. So, well, even though they haven't really been together, but probably by the end that's who she's gonna end up with, because it was kind of like a love triangle with like three characters and who Nancy would wanted to be with. But yeah, so that's how things end with that. And I guess those kids are gonna have to find a way to help those two get out. Or was it like three of them that were still inside? I'm not really sure, because it's Robin and Eddie who actually escape. I know that, but the others who are still there, I guess they're still inside. Yeah. So yeah, definitely a great first part. I'm not sure if I missed anything, because I tried to go for that fast because so much happens in this season, man. Oh my god, I probably missed so much. Yeah. But yeah, definitely a great performance by everyone in this season. I mean, the guy with the glasses was a bit cringy, but he was really useful though. Yeah, with how he just did his kawaii moves and all that, it was just so silly. But he actually did kick ass. Yeah, and ends up rescuing Hopper, but they still have to escape though, and get away from that Demigorgon. So it does kind of end in a cliffhanger, but we still get some answers with the villain being number one, and how he basically wants revenge with what 11 did to him. And he's been killing all these kids. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how that concludes on July 1st. So I guess I'll end it here. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys.